Can you hear me?
Yes, Doug.
Can you clarify? It's three-parter here. Can you clarify for us what is happening with Ozzy? Who came in for Ozzy, and how did that affect the game plan for tonight?
So I think we made a statement on Aussie. It's just that. I mean, the cardiologist came up with this conclusion that we need to do a couple more tests on Aussie. That happened yesterday early in the morning, and so we came up with the solution of putting George Campbell as a center mid. He played there a few times last year, and I think he did well in that regard. So part of the idea of putting George Campbell there is not changing a lot the dynamic and what we just trained the whole week. So it was just man for man change, and I don't think the game plan changed dramatically with George Campbell for Aussie.
You said last week that there were times against Kansas City that y'all were just missing that little final pass. It seemed like the first 20 minutes tonight, either that little pass was missing or you just couldn't get the shot off. And then the momentum just kind of disappeared. Is that accurate?
Yes, I think that's part of the storyline. I think we were much better in possession. I think we had a lot the ball today. We had always kind of the control in this middle third, but kudos to Colorado. They did a great job at putting a very good block of 5-2-3, 5-4-1 players, and very solid and compact. And the few times there were many times I would say that we broke that line of pressure, and then we got in good areas. Then that final pass was missing, and a little bit the movements to getting behind the back line we were lacking today. And I think that's part of the story of today.
Gonzalo, good evening. You mentioned the game plan. What was the game plan, and where did you think it perhaps began to fall apart? The first 25 minutes looked like Atlanta had control. After that first goal, it seemed like an uninspired performance after that. Where do you think it went wrong?
Well, I think you saw the game plan there, like what you just said, like the first 25, 30 minutes, I was very happy with the way we were moving the ball around. I think that we were not seeing a couple movements to get in between the lines. And then again, kudos to Colorado. They were very aggressive. They were always on the back of our players, chasing, pressing, and they were doing a good job in there. So I think the game plan, you saw a little bit the overload in the middle, like with almost 4 players in the middle of the park, but we were never able to really play them. And then the times that we played them, we were lacking a little bit that final pass and those runs in behind that we had last week. So I think, again, is the learning process. And again, the key moments of the game early in the second half, I felt that we were having a good plan to kind of overcome the first half. And then very early in the second half, we get a second goal, and that almost make it very, very hard. But what I'm very proud of the team is the effort and the heart and the passion, and they never give up. And I think that when you said that about it wasn't the best performance, yes, maybe on the soccer side in the final third we were not very good, but I was very happy at the end, even with 10 players. My players never gave up, and that's something for me. And I think we will build from there, and then we'll try to fix the mistakes or the little things that we need to correct, and we will come for the next game ready.
I'm sure you could be misremembered. Go ahead, Felipe.
Thank you, Doug. I'm sure you'll watch the film. You haven't been able to go back and watch the game, obviously, but how would you assess Alan Franco's performance, his first game of the season? Diego Rubio is a very good player. He's a tough player to match up with, but how would you assess Franco's first game of the season?
I think overall it was very good. Obviously, the first goal was a bit of a tough ball in the far post. He was marking probably correctly, but it was a very exact ball in the back. And then he couldn't, get actually any part of the cross. But after that or before that, he was very good. I think in the build-up, he started to break some lines. And then you saw at the end of the game, he caught so many chances in transition. And I think he had a good game.
Coach, I may be misremembering this from last week, but I think Josef had one good chance last week that Amelia saved with his fingertips, and then had one good chance at the end of the first half today. Are you concerned? I know it's only 2 games, but concerned that Josef's just not getting the ball in those good zones that y'all like to get the ball into?
Yeah, well, there were a few half chances there, but probably not really the ones we are waiting for our striker, whoever it is, to have. And so again, today, not just Josef, but overall the team didn't create enough clear chances. So it's reflected on the expected goals. And I mean, again, kudos to Colorado. They did their plan very good, playing a middle block, lower block, and try to play counters. And then in transition, they were way more dangerous than us, and we will just continue improving on that style, trying to break lines better, trying to move the ball faster side to side, try to occupy those spaces that we want to occupy to then create more and better chances in the final third, and we'll try to improve for next time.
What did you tell the players? I know you said that you were proud with their effort, but I think you have really high expectations for them as well. And overall, it just wasn't the best performance of Atlanta United under Gonzalo Pineda. So what was your message after the match, and like, how do you build from this?
Well, first of all, that I take some responsibility. As always, we reflect as coaching staff, first of all, on how we can prepare the team better. So we will reflect on that, and we will take responsibilities. Then secondly, obviously, that there are some lessons that we need to learn. We will reflect, we will see the film, and we will try to correct some of those, and obviously try to continue. But I told them that I'm very, very proud of the heart and the never giving up. I mean, for me, it was priceless when, we were losing 3-0, 1 man down, and then Caleb Wiley started to dribble and try to get that chance, and Josef started to fight and try to get the ball and try to get a foul, and from set pieces trying to score a goal. For me, that means a lot. That means that the team has a good heart, has a good mentality, and even though today we lost the game, I think that we are kind of gaining on that part, on being competitive. No matter what is the result, we are competing, and that's something that I really like today.
Coach, I know you can't speak specifically on what the issue is with Alonso, but can you provide any kind of timeline on when y'all expect to get something definitive, if he can return next week, or if he can return?
No, I mean, it's up to the doctors. And again, I don't want to talk too much about it because it's obviously, it's a medical, report, and I'm not a doctor. What I can say is he has already a couple appointments with 2 cardiologists for next week. So we will see the outcome of that. I'm personally optimistic, but we will see what the doctors say.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone.